Guys, so I don't know if you remember, but I shared this bed with you all. It is my strawberry, asparagus, pentas, and spinach bed. I finally was able to look this up, this type of spinach, and it is called Malabar spinach. And it is actually very, very good. It tastes like eating, almost like eating broccoli. It has a broccoli sharpness and flavor to it. I found out from the garden center where I purchased. It's a local, home gardener, and she started a business in her home on her property. It's covered in plants, and she said these will produce flowers and seeds really, really pretty. When I looked it up, I found out that each of these nodules will actually turn into berries. Let's see if I can get a good shot of it. Yep, there it is. And these berries are edible. I also found out that each of the leaves, of course the leaves are edible, they're spinach, but if you eat them when they're not fully developed, you'll have a tendency to have a slight stomach ache. So like these smaller ones, they wouldn't suggest eating. But once they grow larger in size, maybe about this size or this size, you might, these are where it's best to eat. You can eat them just like regular spinach, just wash them and eat them. They collect dew easily, so they're already kind of wet and moist first thing in the morning. I haven't seen much damage to them, like any issues. Like this is the first little spotting I've seen, and some little spotting below, but it's not like taking over the entire plant. She's actually growing quite vigorously. I did find out that they can be considered invasive if you don't know how to maintain them. When I read up on it, it said it is best to, when it starts to trellis off like this, pretty much let it get as big as you want it, and then start cutting these off, because it will go crazy with leaves and be everywhere. So I bought this plant, and she was only this tall as far as fullness, and maybe this long as far as being able to wrap anything around this trellis. And you can see how much growth has taken place since I bought her, and I think this was maybe mid-June or early July, one of the two, and this is what I got. So you can imagine how much salad I can get from just one of these. And these seeds here, those berries and seeds, if I let those berries drop, they will reproduce more. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and clear it up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and in this section going all the way across, I'm going to clip some of these off and let them start to create their own spinach around the outside. And this spinach is also more hardy, and it has much more vitamins than your regular spinach and Swiss chard, kale, all of those. It has more vitamins than them, and you can tell in the quality of flavor as well that it does. I don't stop growing all your faves just for this, but it does, and it's just a much more hardier plant. It's growing in the summer, and it's growing rapidly in the summer, and we're experiencing near 100-degree temperatures, and I'm getting spinach. So, and look at this, I'll compare it, I'll show you. This spinach right here, this is also spinach. It was tucked under, in fact, it was growing inside of one of my strawberry pots somehow. And I went ahead and replanted her under here just so she can get that good shade from the asparagus, because eventually this asparagus will go wild and be really tall and perfect for her. So, and I planted these kind of late. They sat in the pot for longer than I wanted them to, and so they started yellowing real bad, but they should perk right up. She's falling over the hopefully things perk right up. And then my strawberries here, they are creating new leaves, so that's a good sign that they are loving being in this bed. See, all of those, and some of them have even sent off some leaves. I don't know if it's in this section. Look, all these new leaves. Look at that. That's a future strawberry. Future strawberry. So yeah, I do need to come out and clip some things away. And now that I've planted those asparagus, I'm gonna go ahead and mulch this whole bed. And yeah, so, and these right here, I forgot what they're called, but they're a medicinal herb. So I might just throw them in this bed too. They came with the spinach, and I might just throw them along the edges and see what happens. See, they've started burying themselves in the ground, creating new leaves. This one's actually dying off, so I'm gonna do that. Break that off and stick her back in the ground so she can continue. So yeah, I'm excited about my strawberry bed. Since the temperatures are still pretty warm here, we should get a lot. We should get a few more strawberries before it gets cold. And yeah, so that's what's happening here in the strawberry bed. And I'm just excited about this spinach, y'all. This spinach is just blowing my mind with its growth and its flavor. So definitely something I'm glad that I purchased. And I purchased it from somebody local. So that made it even more worthwhile. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me. Say goodbye to the spinach.